Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
It's that time of year, early November. We always come into Les Schwab to make sure we can find out the newest and greatest when you're talking about safety and traction devices for 2025 going into 2026. A lot of folks don't know about some of the great options that you have, and you're going to need them this time of year. So we're going to go in, we're going to meet Corey Bowers for the first time. He's actually the manager here at the Happy Valley location. Been here about 5 years. Super nice facility. Make sure you come in and check it out. But let's go see him. Corey, it's nice to meet you for the first time, man.
Appreciate it.
Busy time of year for you, isn't it?
It's getting there. It's getting there.
A lot of people coming in asking about exactly what we're standing in front of. Chains, studs, cables, and even socks. We'll talk quickly about that and just give you a quick rundown. But first questions first, what's the most common style of tread or chain that people come in after?
The quick fit, which is the easiest to put on in a chain link, is probably our most popular.
And that's for the majority of tires that are on the road.
Most everything can accommodate this S-Class limited clearance chain.
Okay, so sport utilities, small cars, that kind of thing.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Now, the one that we always get questions on when we come here to Les Schwab is socks. And I have these here. Now, these aren't necessarily new, but it is a little bit different than maybe what some folks have seen in the past.
Yes, those are designed for the vehicles that can't accommodate a chain.
Okay, something low profile.
Exactly.
Not a lot of clearance.
Clearance issues, that would work perfectly for that additional traction and requirement.
Okay, next is what I use. Okay, I'm running big tires on my Chevy Silverado, and I got to have chains that will actually fit on those tires, and it turns out it's the old school style of chain. Very common on my style of truck. Not necessarily something that's on all the trucks that are out there, but certainly with the larger tires, that's what you would find.
Yeah, again, this is going to be more that larger pickup, half-ton, three-quarter-ton, one-ton application, and the what they call a ladder chain. Harder to put on, but great traction and durability.
Unbelievable traction.
Yeah.
And when you're in those situations, say crossing over the pass, when they're requiring chains, no matter what style of vehicle you have, this would accommodate that, right? All right.
Exactly.
So the next one, very common, cables. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, so they do offer the cable chain. There's a lot of people that really enjoy these. A little lower profile, but still meet the requirement for that traction and clearance.
Sure, and they're not maybe as durable as chains, but they still handle everything that you're going to throw at them, at least for a season or two.
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly.
And we don't want to forget, if you did buy chains here at Les Schwab and they don't fit or something might happen, they'll always accommodate you before and, of course, after the season passes. But if there's something that you need answered, questions that you might not be aware of, this is when people come in and ask those questions, is that right?
Absolutely. Perfect time of the year. Before the weather hits, get prepared and we can answer any questions, help you find the right fitment.
Would you say that studded tires are still just as popular as they were, say, 10, 15 years ago?
It's slowed down a little bit with the studded option, mainly because the technology in the studless does a really good job.
That's a good point, yeah.
The ice traction, you can't beat a studded tire.
Okay.
But obviously the rain and the snow, the studless is a great option.
All right, so there's a number of different versions that you can utilize to be safe, right? When you get into the situations with ice and snow, if you're going to be crossing the pass or wherever it might be, if you're required to have traction devices, this is the location to get yourself taken care of. And if you have questions, come in, see Corey, ask the folks here, and they can get you lined up on what'll work best for you and the vehicle that it is that you're driving, right? Corey, thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks.
We appreciate the insight.
Yeah.
Each year we get a chance to come down and hang out with them, get a little bit of information that can help you be safer when you get you and your family on the road. You got Thanksgiving coming, Christmas, of course, New Year's, all the new fun things that we love to do. But you have to be safe when you get out there. Les Schwab can make sure that you are. Check that out. Obviously, it goes without saying that if it's the holiday season, you want to be safe, right? You want to be able to get to your location and get back home safely, and there's no question. And they'll take, Les Schwab, that is, will take care of you in a number of different things. If it's brakes, the tires you currently have, or traction devices, it's Les Schwab. They're all over for a reason. Okay, so a couple of reminders that we want to get out there. Free fishing weekend is actually coming up, right? It's actually Friday and Saturday, which is a little bit different. Okay, so Friday right after Thanksgiving is the first day, and then of course Saturday when you get out there, clamming and crabbing is all part of that. So look into it. Maybe if you're watching Outdoor GPS and you don't have a fishing or hunting license, the first question I'd ask you is, well, what are you doing? But secondly, I would say go get your fishing license and hunting license so you can go out and enjoy what we have here in the Northwest before it's gone. in the long run. Also, the new regulations have come out, and there are a tremendous amount of changes. Some good, some bad, some ridiculous, and some just head scratchers. And you're not going to know that until you go in there and start taking a look at some of these. I still go pick up the synopsises, the actual books themselves, because I want them in my truck and this and that. But you can see the PDF online and go through all those different things. I would highly recommend that you look at the big game regulations for 2026. There's going to be some serious changes on the east side and the west. So I'm just not going to get sidetracked right now. I'm too busy this morning. Also, we've got a couple of Facebook questions, and this is the perfect time. This is actually a question that we've been holding on to for a while, and it's perfect because we do have that cold snap that might be showing up. God, I was looking forward to 20-some-odd degrees. Some might think I'm crazy, but that's kind of what we look for. This is from Nathan. This is a great one. And this is one, actually, that I got this tip about, 10 years ago? I guess, from Cameron Black. It was a great one. My hands were cold, and he showed me his setup, and I've used it ever since. I have worn latex gloves while fishing for winter steelhead, but as I get older, my fingers get very cold. Do you have any recommendations on cold weather gloves? Okay, so Nathan, what I found after trying a number of different gloves over the years, and I think some of that might be because, yeah, I'm getting old too. Man, I think I was 35 when we started this. Yeah. I'm not 35 anymore. But I had surgery on my thumb years ago, if you guys all remember. And whenever it gets cold, my thumb just goes numb, right? So I really started looking for gloves. Well, the easiest thing that I've come up with, again, given to me from Cameron, is the gloves that you would use, like inspection gloves, right? And I think Ryan might have found that somewhere that we can show, but they're inspection gloves. They're just basically cotton. There you go. White cotton gloves, nothing fancy, right? But they give you that little bit of insulation on the inside of your latex gloves. So you're not really changing a whole lot. You're just making sure that you have that little cotton liner on the inside, and then you put your latex gloves over the top of it. Now, when you buy those inspection gloves, I think the box that I got's got like 100 of them in there, maybe even more, I don't know. But then I take an extra large glove, and I put that right over the top of those things, and your hands stay nice and warm. If the gloves get ripped or whatever happens, you can swap them out to another pair. But it works really, really well, and you still have the dexterity to be able to tie knots, which is a big deal, especially if you're like me and you're doing this. Okay, I can see. I mean, really, kids, that's what happens. I can't believe I just put those glasses on live television. But at the very least, I hope that answers your question. It certainly works very, very well. And it's one of those things that I absolutely appreciate every time that I have to use them. Typically, I try to go as long as I can without gloves. But when it comes up, that's when it gets done. All right, do we want to go ahead and take another one, or do we want to move on to the next segment there, Ryan? All right, let's go ahead and take one more. We've got one here, I believe, about Brad's plugs and with silvers in the rivers right now. And I was reminded yesterday that there's still quite a few chrome bright silvers that are moving their way up in a lot of the different tributaries. Now, the reports that I got yesterday from 2 different systems were well north of me, without being too specific, and they were just dimes that were being caught. So, perfect timing for this. Kevin asks, can you put that back up? Put that. One moment. I want to read it verbatim, or I'm just going to make it up as I go. Kevin says, how far back should you flatline a Brad's Wiggler trolling frog water on the Cowlitz specifically? Well, the Cowlitz has a lot of areas with frog water, let alone up in that same area. You got the Lewis, you got Clackamas areas, you've got tributary mouths, depending on where you might actually be, if it's, areas on the Columbia or different spots. Frog water for silvers, and pretty much that's the only thing I can really think that he's referring to that he would be trolling for. Not necessarily the way we would target steelhead. Not that it wouldn't work, but that's just not the thought that's in my mind. So how I'm going to answer that question is if you're trolling for silvers or maybe even Chinook with a wiggler, which are deadly effective, by the way, in the right situations, you want that thing back there quite a ways, because if it's frog water, still water, those fish, even with bow mounts or a transamount electric, or for that matter, if you're just running a gas motor, those fish are going to spook away from the boat. That's just what they do. And you want to have those plugs far enough back. He didn't say back trolling, he said trolling. So again, I'm thinking forward trolling, minimum 50 feet. And I would not be, as long as you got the depth that'll allow you to do it without just grinding the bottom, because you still want to make sure that that plug is up high enough where it's going to be in the strike zone. If you get too low, that can be a problem. I'd rather be too high than too low in a lot of situations. But at the very least, minimum 50 feet. And if you can get it back there even a little bit more, I would do that as well. The only other tip that I would give you if you're trolling for silvers and frogwater, and it's literally, it's already paid off this year for several folks. I mentioned it a month or two ago, whatever it was, by pegging an 8mm orange or red bead above that when the bite is just not on. It's not magic. It doesn't work every time, but it does work 60+% of the time, at least in my experience. And we've had several folks this year that have communicated back to us that that tech tip helped them catch more fish. So if you are going to be trolling wigglers around and they're just not biting, but you're feeling like you got your gear far enough behind the boat, or at least that you're presenting them correctly, that little trick does help. Just take that bead, peg it with a toothpick or a stick or whatever the heck it is that you might have, and it can sometimes get you that extra bite or two. And for that matter, sometimes even a little bit more. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to have Mike Sertic from Ray Marine. We're going to talk about a couple of their holiday deals that they've got going on quickly. And then I want to talk to him about how the duck hunting's been for him well north of where I get to hunt. And he's heading east. He's going to Idaho to chase steelhead this week. And I want to find out how that's going to look for him as well. It's a very interesting fishery. We'll be back with that in just a minute.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.